Good afternoon, and I'm Samantha Voon. Welcome to the BizTech Asian Midday Market Watch. It's Thursday, the 4th of June. It's Tuesday, the 4th of June, and our guest today is Jeffrey Halley, an independent market analyst. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Great to be here.
Yeah. First, let's look at the performance of the Asian stock markets today. Okay, we have the Nikkei 225 in Japan down 0.30%. In Shanghai is down 0.02%. In Hong Kong, the Hang Seng is up 0.12%. In Australia, the ASX 200 is down 0.13%. In South Korea, the Kospi is down 0.48%. And in Singapore, the STI is down 0.14%. The KLCI in Kuala Lumpur is up 0.71 today. So, Jeff, what do you make of the stock market movement today?
There seems to be a few nerves around, given the very weak manufacturing data that came out from the United States last night. The United States is obviously one of the largest consumers in the world, along with China, and any concerns that may slow down usually has a knock-on effect through to Asian stock markets, because obviously a lot of their exports go that way. We also have some fairly important data coming out this week as well, which will give us perhaps a bit more insight into the direction of potential Federal Reserve monetary policy. Bonds rallied overnight on that softer manufacturing data, but it as yet has had no positive impact on stock. So I think Asia today is taking a nervous wait-and-see approach.
Okay, let's take a look at the Indian stock markets today. It closed at record highs yesterday as exit polls indicated an overwhelming win for PM Modi in the India elections. However, Nifty futures are sharply lower in Asian trading today, though. What's driving the sell-off, Jeff?
Yeah, it looks like they're down around 2.8% at the moment. That's somewhat near what the rally was yesterday. So yesterday we got the at the end of the 6-week election period in India, and this is when they can release exit polls. And the exit polls indicated that the incumbent Prime Minister Modi was on track for a very strong win, a very powerful performance in that election, although official results will come out today as the counting commences. I think what we saw really, that drove India stock markets to record highs. But I think what we've seen is a classic buy the rumor and sell the fact. So that initial euphoria has worn off, and we're seeing profit taking coming into the markets. They're a bit less liquid in outside of India hours, and we're seeing the stock markets, the futures, the Nifty futures and Sensex futures, Nifty futures move sharply lower. So I think this is more of a trading move rather than and a positioning move from short-term fast money, rather than a signal that the actual overall bullish outlook from India has changed.
Okay, so turning to currency markets for a bit here, Jeff. The US dollar has weakened sharply across the board overnight. What caused the sell-off, and will it continue?
Well, we saw very weak, unexpectedly weak manufacturing data from America overnight. Now that prompted a rally in bonds, because the market immediately priced in a higher chance that the Federal Reserve will cut rates. Therefore, bonds rallied, yields fell, and that undermined the US dollar. Part of the reason that the US dollar is so strong is because it has quite firm interest rates in a global context, in a global developed market context. So anything that undermines that narrative is likely to have a negative impact on the US dollar in the short term, and that's what we saw. I think even the Japanese yen managed to eke out some gains overnight, but we've seen a fairly broad sell-off by the US dollar. Will this continue? Well, this is really going to depend a lot on some of the heavyweight US data that we're going to see coming out this week. And if that data is weak, then there's a very good chance that this US dollar sell-off could continue. Conversely, if that data is unexpectedly strong, then that may actually see an unwinding of those short positions put on overnight.
So, Jeff, you touched on data earlier at the start of this show and sometime just now as well. So what is on your radar for the data calendar this week?
Well, there's quite a bit actually. If I glance at my calendar now, in China, we have the Kaizen Services PMI data, and that could be good for some short-term volatility in China markets, simply because there's a lot of flows to and fro on whether China is actually hit the bottom of its economic slowdown, or whether we're seeing these green shoots. So that's going to be good for some short-term volatility. Ditto the Bank of Canada's rate decision, which I believe is coming out tomorrow. Heavyweight data, we've got the ECB, the European Central Bank, announcing its latest rate decision on Thursday. Now, the markets are pricing in a 25 basis point cut. I think that might be a bit ambitious, but if we do see the ECB cut, and of course, it's really what they say afterwards in the press conference that's really going to matter. If that's quite dovish, then that may be a short-term headwind for the single currency, although it is probably going to be quite positive for European stocks, at least in the short term. Really, it all comes down to the United States, though. We've got the jobless numbers out tonight, I believe, and anything lower than 8.3 million gains is probably going to see more of those Fed rate cut trades put on. And then come Friday, we've got, of course, the US non-farm payrolls. Now, I do believe at the moment that is predicting, if I just consult my calendar again, markets are looking for a gain of 190,000 jobs. There's always volatility over the non-farms, but a very weak number will certainly see some momentum added to that Fed easing trade. And as I touched on earlier, conversely, if it surprises, and it does fairly regularly, if it surprises to the upside, then some of those short-term bets could get quite aggressively unwound into the end of the week.
All right, we'll just wait to see what happens then. So thanks, Jeff. Thanks for being on the show.
A pleasure as ever.
We've been speaking to Jeffrey Halley, independent market analyst on BizTech Asian Midday Market Watch. I'm Samantha Voon, and this video and podcast will be on our website, www.biztech.asia, and social media platforms. It will be on our syndication partners' TV stations, radio stations, and website. Thanks for tuning in.